Hey everyone. I have Laura here today, and she's agreed to interview and talk with us about her fitness journey.
I
So,
have.
mhm. So she's going to start out by, just telling us a little bit about herself and why she decided to make this change and to change her life.
Absolutely. Hey guys, I'm Laura, as Amy said, and I have been with Amy Everett Fitness since March of 2019. I got up to 245 pounds, and that was the heaviest that I'd ever been in my life. And I was 33, and I was waking up and getting out of bed and had some pain in my feet, and just thought, this is not normal. And so knew that I needed to make some changes, and just need a little help doing that, and trying something new. And I never really dieted a whole lot, so wasn't really sure what I was doing. So I had met Amy before when she was at Elite Fitness, and then found out that she had kind of gone out on her own. And so I was excited to get back because I liked what I saw at Elite. So I'm glad that I did.
So, how long do you feel like your weight had been an issue? I know you had been with me at Elite, and
Mhm.
I was so happy that you were with me there. Your weight had become an issue before. How long do you feel like your weight had actually been an issue for you?
Well, I was always really small in high school. I mean, I probably was like, 120 at the heaviest. And then when I had my daughter, I had her pretty young. And after that, I never really lost the baby weight. And I was in a pretty significant car wreck. So at the end of my pregnancy, I was basically just laying around and eating. And after she was born, I was busy, school, and I tried a little bit in college to watch what I ate, but nothing serious. And I don't know, like I guess really over time, and especially once I hit my 30s, I think my metabolism just slowed down like a lot of people's do, and I just started putting on weight, and it was almost overnight, and woke up and just thought, oh my gosh, this is not good. So yeah, I would say when by the time I hit 30, I was getting up there and kind of started thinking, "Ooh, might want to do something here." So,
Yes, I think a lot of us, by the time we reach that age, we realize, oh, we can't exactly live the way we were living in our
no.
20s. Our body is not going to react the
Yeah.
same way. So, did you said you didn't really try anything to lose weight. And when you were with me at Elite, you were only coming to classes at Elite because I think somebody asked you specifically about losing weight. And so I wanted to make sure that everybody knew. So you only came to classes with me at Elite. You actually didn't do nutrition.
Right.
So
Right.
so
Yeah,
just
I
wanna make
I
that.
did not do nutrition at Elite, and I did, I dropped a little bit of weight, and but nothing significant. I mean, I felt better, definitely felt better lifting weights, loved coming to class, and I lived really close, so I would walk, and that was kind of just, getting more exercise than I was getting, because around that time I'd started working at home, so I wasn't, when you work from home, a lot of times it's a lot of sitting. So that was really just a great outlet, but I wasn't really dropping a whole lot of weight until I started nutrition with you, this time around.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of touch on that before we got into everything because I know somebody had said that, but yeah, you had never done nutrition with me before. We had only done classes. So,
Mhm.
and so what goals have you achieved since 2019?
So immediately when I joined and when I started doing nutrition with you and, working out, doing the classes, I just kind of like decided that this 100 pounds was this magic number. Like I knew that I needed to lose it. I knew that that was kind of what was healthy for me to, a target weight that was healthy was about 100 pounds lighter. So yeah, I mean, I have pretty much lost the 100 pounds. I'm, in that phase where I fluctuate a little bit here and there, but yeah, I have lost almost 100 pounds, on a really good day.
That's
So I have hit
amazing.
that goal. Yeah. Yep.
So how long did it take you to lose that?
It took me a year to knock off most of it. And then about, I guess, up until just recently, I've hit, I'm down to that, I fluctuate between like 145 and 150.
Mhm.
So it's, it's still every day. I'm still kind of like, I want to get down. And now I do want to lose a little bit more weight, maybe like 10, 15 pounds. But no, it took me about a year and a half to really get down to where I'm consistently at that weight.
Yeah, but I think that's a good steady weight loss.
Yes.
So how do you feel now that you've lost all that weight? Like, how do you feel on a daily basis compared to how you used to feel when you were overweight?
So before, and I think I had said this in my testimonial, before I was really tired too. I mean, I was always just kind of like, again, here I am, mid 30s, and I'm exhausted. My feet hurt. I don't want to do anything. I'm, just not motivated to do anything. And then now, I do have a lot of energy. I feel a whole lot better. I wake up absolutely no pain at all, which to me is the best part about, being in, getting in shape and like taking back control of your diet and exercise is that you do feel better. Obviously you can see the physical change when you look at my transformation pictures, but I feel better than I have since I was in high school playing softball in conditioning every single day. I mean, that was running miles and running stairs and doing all this cardio. And, of course, you're much younger, you feel great. But I really do feel like I could, go through a conditioning with my hell coach and make it now.
And that is wonderful. So I think that is the best part too, is how you feel,
Yep, absolutely.
because you want to feel good.
Yep.
And so touching on how you look, so that was one of the other questions from some of the ladies. So one of the questions was, of course, why are you so hot, Laura? And then the other one was,
I just love
um,
her.
your skin looks amazing. And then they wanted to know what you did not to have any loose skin. So what would you recommend? What's your answer to that?
I mean, absolutely. If you are, doing Amy's plan and nutrition and working out with her, that is the right way to lose weight. I mean, obviously, all of us have grown up in this culture where pop open a Cosmo magazine and they have 50 ways to lose 50 pounds in 5 minutes. And it's like, that's not realistic. First of all, that's not healthy. None of that stuff that they tell you, unless you're dieting appropriately, eating those whole foods, drinking water, and exercising. There's no magic pill. So I really think that that is why, I don't have, a whole lot of loose skin or like, that I don't look, I was worried that I was going to look a lot older too when I lost the weight because I always felt like I have this chubby baby face, and I still do. I mean, I still do have a little bit of that. But no, I think it really is just working the program and committing to this is a process. It's not overnight. You're not going to do one workout and all of a sudden be the size you want to be and whatever. But I definitely just stuck to the program, ate what you told me to eat, exercised when you told me to exercise, and I drink a crap load of water. Like I really do. And I've always been a water drinker, and I know that's some people are not. I would highly recommend, if you don't drink your water, you really should.
I think that's great. Yes, definitely. You do have gorgeous skin.
Thank
I
you.
think you had, and you
Yeah.
don't have any excess skin or anything, and you lost everything. I mean, the way you lost weight, 100 pounds over a year and a half, that's just perfect. And
Right.
your skin does look beautiful.
Mhm.
So speaking of, how long it took you to lose weight and how you progressed, one of the other questions one of the ladies asked was, what were your frustrations when you started to see progress, and how did you manage your expectations?
Mhm. So, I mean, I distinctly remember, and I think I posted about this on Facebook, but it happened more than once. I mean, I would go in, I would, eat right and I would exercise, every day. I used to be in class, what, 6, 7 times a week. I mean, I was always in the door. That first year, I was very diligent about, getting the exercise. And, I remember going into Maurice's and being in the locker room or locker room, the fitting room, and trying on a pair of jeans. And I was like, I know the number in my head. I knew how much weight I'd lost. I knew that I had dropped even like 50 pounds at this point. And I put on this pair of jeans and I was like, why the hell do these not fit? Like these jeans, in my head, it was, I'm this size. I should be in these jeans. And it was like almost a meltdown moment. Like, what the hell? But in reality, and I even posted like I wanted to leave there and go eat just junk food. Like I just wanted to go like binge because I was like, what does it matter anyways if I can't fit in these jeans? But then, you like leave and you rationalize like, no, because I can fit in a shirt that's 3 times smaller than when I started. And just because it wasn't, in the waist that I'd seen the progress didn't mean that there wasn't any. And so I really do think that a lot of times it's just perspective. You have to kind of slow down and go, no, okay, stop. This is, that's not realistic. And it'll come, and I did that a couple of times, but every time when I left and really thought about it, I'm like, that's just the way it is. And you've said so many times, nobody loses weight the same way. Some people will, lose it here or there, and you can't really target that. It just is what it is. So, once I kind of made that mental shift, now if I go in and try on a pair of jeans that don't fit, I'm like, I don't like those anyways. And I'll find I'll find something that I do like. So I think it's really just that, understanding and like just reiterating to yourself in your own head, like, this is a process, this is a journey, it's gonna come. Like I've seen the losses, I've seen the changes. I know even now at the size I'm at now, I know that, that's going to be different here in 6 months. I know that. So as long as you continue to walk that walk and you do what you're supposed to do, then the changes will come. And I think it's really just a mental shift at that point.
I agree. Yes. You have to walk yourself through all of those frustrations and all of those roadblocks. It's so important.
Mm-hmm.
How has weight loss affected your relationships?
Well, I mean, I've been really lucky, and I know like girls at the gym and just a lot of people have horror stories about, they make all these changes in their life and they can't get their family on board. I have been so fortunate to be surrounded by adults who just have like cheered me on, or in the case of my significant other, he just whatever you put in front of me, that's what we're going to eat. I'm going to do it with you. I'm not going to complain, and now he's completely changed and eats everything I eat. So that is really, really important to have people and surround yourself with people who are positive. And the people that have been negative or made comments that kind of leave you going, and even I think sometimes people make comments that they think are positive, they don't mean to offend by what they're saying, but you hear it enough and you're like, oh God, what did you think before when I wasn't this size? So like, I mean, and you're going to get that, like, especially when you drop 50, 100, 150 pounds. I mean, people just say things and you're like, geez, did you think about that before you said that? But, that it's just, that's the way it is. I mean, people just say things without thinking. So again, it's for me, it was a lot of mental, like, yeah, that's great. And thanks for noticing that I've made a change, and you just kind of go about your day. So.
I agree. I think it's wonderful that you have such a great support system. I think, Brittany and I talked about that last week too, how it's so important to have a good support system.
It is. And I would say to people who don't, because I've been here a year and a half. There's been a lot of people come and go, and I've heard a lot of the same things from from people. Oh, my husband won't eat this. Oh, my boyfriend will spit that out. Whatever. My kids hate it. I have to cook them something else. I mean, you guys really should then lean in on this group, because if you're not getting that positive, if you're not getting that support from home, it's here. You just look around. The Facebook page is a great example of that. I mean, everybody is so positive, and just, we all celebrate, all of our successes, and it doesn't matter like how small you think it might be. It's a big deal. Like, every step that you take in the right direction is a huge deal. And that's a really, really amazing thing that I've gotten from this group, and why I have stayed, because I need the accountability. And I promise you, you're going to get that from Amy, but you'll also get that from other ones of us. So if you need that, if you need the support and the accountability, lean into the group.
Yes, everybody's here for you. I
Yep.
think that's extremely important. That's why we have the group. And
Right.
I'm definitely here for you. I think a lot of women are scared to ask for help. Sometimes it seems really scary, and they would just rather suffer alone than ask for help. And
Right.
it's really
Yep.
sad.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is, again, that's why I've been here, and why I'm staying, because this is my support group. And I know if I drop off the face of the earth, or if I, start regressing, I mean, 100%, I'm going to have a group of people that's going to, drop in on my roof with a SWAT team. Like, why aren't you at the gym? And, confront me about it. And look, that may not be comfortable, but all of us have had those conversations as we've, checked in with Amy, of like, you can't eat that, right? But I need that. I need the accountability. I need somebody to call me on my BS, because Lord knows how many excuses I made at first. And that is what it is. I mean, that's what we're getting, that's what we're here for. So just lean on it.
Speaking of foods, do you eat the same foods every day?
I eat the same group of foods. So, I'll do sweet potatoes, but I'll fix them. Some days I'll have a baked sweet potato. Some days I'll chop them up and, put them in the oven. Some days I'll put a little butter on it. Some days are just plain with cinnamon. Just, I eat kind of the same thing, but I'll just fix them different ways. So yeah, I mean, chicken, fish, sweet potatoes, baked potatoes, rice and vegetables. That's pretty much the diet. On occasion, I'll do, and then like for breakfast, it's either oatmeal or egg whites for me with vegetables. That's pretty consistent. My breakfast, it's 9 times out of 10 my egg whites, and I'll throw a little spinach in there or whatever. But I mean, I feel more full, I think, when I eat the egg whites versus, say, a bowl of oatmeal. That's just me. And I feel like that lasts me a little bit longer than the oatmeal. But there are some days where I'm like, no, I need something different, and I've got to back up. So, yep.
So, and when Laura started, Laura was still doing macros whenever she started
Yes.
with me. So she's been through a few different programs. So she's been very pliable, actually. So she's learned a few different things. So, and she was successful on macros, but it was because she still listened to what she was supposed to eat, basically. I gave her her macros, and I gave her the list of foods she was supposed to eat, and she followed those, very diligently. And that's why she was successful. And she knows that, and I think you'll agree with this, Laura, if you look at your list of macros that you had to eat in the list of foods that's on the new plan, it's basically the same.
Yeah.
You just knew what your macros were at that point.
Right.
So she knows how to operate both of those systems.
Yep.
So
yeah. And I love that. I love the list of foods. I mean, like, if you look at there's just so many, there really is so many options on it, and it's easy to pick, like, oh, hey, I know I like this. And like, I'm just gonna, eat this over and over. And that, kind of comes with like, okay, this is just easy now. But I mean, a lot of people say that they can't eat the same things over and over. But if you look at that list, I mean, there are a ton of options on there. I mean, it's just kind of like, again, it's a perspective thing. I mean, if you really look at it and go, okay, what can I make and how can I, work this into a recipe? I mean, it's there. There's a ton of different options. So I honestly never get bored with it. And, like for instance, we rely on turkey bowl a lot during the week, but I'll throw different, some days it's Brussels sprouts and turkey and, rice. And some days it's, turkey and sweet potatoes and a vegetable, whatever. So, I mean, even with that, even when you say, yeah, I eat the same things, you can still kind of, do variations of it so you don't get bored.
I, yes, I definitely agree with that. I have people say that to me a lot. And
Yep.
my answer generally is, if you're eating unhealthy food, it's not any
Yep.
more exciting than eating healthy food. You're just eating
No.
healthy food. You just have to learn to cook healthy food. And you can learn to cook lots of recipes with healthy foods, just the way that you can make lots of unhealthy recipes with unhealthy foods. But
Yes. Yep.
these are the lists you have with your unhealthy foods. This is the
Mhm.
list you have with healthy foods. We're just asking you to make it with these.
Right.
So,
Yep.
like you said,
And I think too, like seasoning, that was a big thing for me. I mean, I think or at least on my list, it was like you can add any dry seasoning, to anything. And it's like that gives you a ton of options right there. I mean, you could eat the same thing, literally the same thing every day, but just season it differently. And, to me, now that my taste buds aren't, fried food and, fast food is great. No. I literally have not I've had fast food. I'm always really disappointed now though. Like I think, ooh, oh my God, I just want some French fries and a burger. And then I get it and I'm like, ugh, I don't know. It makes you feel gross. I mean, that to me was another huge change was I used to get down on like, give me a burger and fries or give me a good chicken sandwich from a fast food place. I can't even or hardly smell it anymore. And I'm just like, ugh, I can't eat it. So I think that's a big part of it too, is you have to commit to going, okay, this is not going to be great at first because this is not what I'm used to eating, but it is eventually. You do change your entire taste buds. And then when you try to go back, it's like, ugh, I can't.
so what is your favorite healthy food to eat?
I am super obsessed with sweet potatoes. We we have a ton of sweet potatoes. I love like we'll do chicken breast. I love fish too. So I know a lot of people don't like seafood, but I've never had a problem with eating anything really. Like it's never been an issue. Like I love food. Um, so it's really not been a big issue for me to like eat. That's not been a thing. Like I'm always, yeah, I'll eat whatever. But yeah, I love sweet potatoes. I mean, they are fabulous. So, that's my favorite thing.
So I guess you don't have a least favorite healthy food.
Uh, no, I'm trying to think of something on that list that I've tried and just been like, no. Um, I will say this, so I put spinach in my, oh, somebody's coming in my door. You might hear my dogs go crazy. But, so I do my spinach and kale like in my eggs, and it's because I don't think that I could really eat that, just like straight up. So maybe that's one, but I do, mix it in my egg whites and it's great. So I think again, it's just all about like, I may not choose to, eat spinach, just by itself, but I'll put it in something else and make it work.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. So this is one of the questions from one of the girls. She asked what your meal prep game looked like. So you meal prep, do you prep all of your meals at the beginning of the week?
So I used to, but I work from home, so it's a little bit different. I mean, I can literally go cook lunch if I want to. I will say that for me, meal prep is more of like when I go to the grocery store, I'm making sure that in that cart are those things that are on my list. If it's not on the list, and it's not for the kids, it's not coming home with me. Because, if I know that there's Oreo cookies sitting in the pantry, I mean, I'm gonna be thinking about it real hard. So I'm like, no, I don't bring home things that I cannot eat. And then I do kind of go, okay, like when I'm there, I go, okay, I know I'm going to have this for dinner every night. Here's what we're having for dinner. And it's just pull it out of the freezer and cook it. And I do enjoy cooking. So, there's that. Some people may not. And so they want to get it all done, get it out of the way or whatever. But we have also, and recently, as recently as last week, sometimes I'll just make up like a big thing of, cook like 3 pounds of turkey, throw, a bag of vegetables and some rice in it. And then I'll have a cup of that for lunch, So I think it kind of depends. If I had to leave my house every day and had to grab a lunch, absolutely would I be making it beforehand. Because for me, when I did work outside of my home, Wendy's was right down the street. And I may be going to get a salad from Wendy's, but then I may not. Then I have the option of like, ooh, look at the entire menu. What do I really want? Or getting a salad, but it's got all this crap in it. And when you really look at the calories, I mean, there's 1,500 calories from a salad. So I'm like, no. That I would have to meal prep if that was my work situation.
So, have you ever considered yourself an emotional eater or had
Oh
cravings?
yeah.
So,
Yes.
you want to talk
I
about that?
a binge queen. Yeah. For sure, I was a binge queen. I mean, that's my thing. And I think I've told you this. I can put away food like nobody's business. I mean, if it's on my plate, I'm going to finish it and I'll probably go back for more too. I mean, if I'm not committed to, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to watch what I'm eating. And I love sweets. I think a lot of us, you sit down in front of the TV and you just want something sweet. I want to sit here and, inhale a pint of ice cream. Um, but yeah, like it's just a decision. It's again, back to the mental part of, I can't do this. I'm not going to bring it in the house because if I do, then I know I'm going to eat it. So absolutely, and the other part of that was, when I was not watching what I was eating, I was also not watching what I was drinking. And I love craft beer, but as you craft beer drinkers know, there is a crap load of sugar in that. And I had no idea. I mean, I was just like, well, yeah, I want to go to Country Boy and, have 4 or 5 beers and just hang out and no big deal. And I think really that the last year, right before I joined, 2018, and right at the beginning of 2019, I think that's how I got, to be 245 pounds, was loving my craft beer. So that kind of stuff too, you think, how possibly could liquid put weight on your body? But it really does. I think I probably gained 50 pounds in 2018 and the beginning of 2019, right before I joined. And that is another thing that I will share with everybody is like 100%. I do not drink during the week at all. Like, we do not, no beer, no liquor. And if I drink on the weekends, it's a couple shots of tequila, and I don't like it. It's not great, but if I want to drink, I know 100% that I can do that. That's a lower calorie and that's a better choice for me. So, you have to address those things too. I would not say by any means that I was an alcoholic, but you sit back and, drink 3, 4 beers a day, and it really piles on the weight, and that was something that Amy and I had a discussion about. That was something that she addressed with me when I joined. And, it's one of the things that she'll tell you, like, you cannot drink all these calories. And it's not just alcohol, it's sweet tea, it's Cokes. I was never a huge Coke drinker. So, and I've always drank a lot of water even before, water has just always been what I've chosen. But, definitely now that's something else that I hear a lot is, oh, I've got to have my Diet Coke. I've got to have my sweet tea. I've got to have this and that. I mean, I I wouldn't give up a meal for that. So, I mean, that's kind of how I look at it now, is like, I'm not going to give up my food for that. Mm-mm.
Right. I think that's extremely important. You know, and I tell women a lot that overcoming, you know, emotional eating, the term emotional eating, I feel like it's used very loosely at this
Mhm.
point. And overcoming that is a decision that we have to make and work through. And I feel like that's easy for me to say, but hearing it come from someone like you saying, yes, I made the decision to overcome that. And that was, how do you feel like you could tell women that that's just a decision that they have to take into their own hands and that that can be
Yeah.
done?
Right. I mean, I think some people that are close to me know that the past year, so 2020, obviously very stressful for a lot of people. Um, you know, I lost my brother last year, and in the beginning of all that like craziness, I thought like I could just, you know, completely withdraw. Like I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to eat. Like I didn't want to eat, period. But when I did, it was just like I just want to binge, you know, because that's what I'd always done. I mean, if I was pissed or if I was happy or if I was, you know, whatever, it didn't matter. It was like I'm going to celebrate or commiserate with food, you know, and it's not going to be healthy food. It's going to be like, you know, the most fattening, most full that I can possibly feel. And then I'm going to go sleep, you know, I mean, just eat to the point of pass out. And I distinctly remember literally making a decision. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to, you know, set myself back. And I came into the gym and I think that you could tell like, oh God, what is wrong with you? And I literally, I was just like, I can't talk about it, but I just need the heaviest thing in this gym that I can lift. And instead of turning to food, um, I really just like, I just banged it out in the gym. And that's literally the only way that I can describe it, is just needing to do that instead. Because if I didn't do that instead, if I didn't choose to go to the gym and I didn't choose to show up where I knew I needed to be, then I knew that I was going to go back up to 245, and I probably wasn't going to stop there because um it was a lot. And I, you know, there's even a lot after that that has happened, and you know, a lot of stress on our family. But I'm continuing to make good decisions for myself, because I know after, you know, losing almost 100 pounds, that that is what's healthy for me. It's not going to bring him back. It's not going to fix anything if you binge. It's just going to make you feel worse, you know, about yourself. And the one thing I think that, you know, about, you know, all the stress that we've all been under lately, is the best thing that you can do for yourself is to make the healthy choices, you know? I mean, you can be stressed, but you go to the gym and that's going to release some of that. You're going to be around people who genuinely care about you, who are going to cheer you on. And they may, you know, the person next to you may have no idea what you're going through, but it doesn't matter. You know, they're in there for their own reasons. We're all there. And that's just what I did to kind of like just bridge it. You know, that's how I got through it. Was just I stayed on the path. I ate what I was supposed to eat, went to the gym when I was supposed to be there. And I am so glad that I made that decision, because prior, you know, prior to joining, I wouldn't have. I would have drank myself into, you know, oblivion, and probably ate myself into oblivion to deal with the stress. And you know, I make better decisions now because it's what's healthy for me, and I don't want to go back. It took way too much work. I have done way too many squats to go back. I am not going back.
You have done a lot of squats, a lot of heavy squats, a
Yes,
lot of
girl.
hard work.
Yes,
Yes.
girl. And some lunges and some jump squats and some bridges and a lot of things.
And a lot of things. Yes.
Yes, I've
I
done all the things, all of
all the things. I was going to touch
them.
on everything that you have overcome in 2020. That was going to be my next subject, because you have been through a lot. And
Yep.
in March, your weight was still 178, and that was when the pandemic started. And you still had a
Mhm.
lot of weight to lose. and that was when the gym shut down. But you kept working out at home. And tell everybody what you started out working out with when we were at home. That's where we'll start.
What, I had some 5s and some 8s.
And so, no, and you had water bottles, I think, and you had dish detergent. I don't know what you had. Dish detergent.
Cat litter. Yes, I think one day I worked out like with a case of waters. I've done that. I had gallons of waters. Yep. I had cat litter, not the light kind, ladies, the heavy stuff. Yes, the cat litter. God, that stuff's heavy. What else did I use? Oh my God. I mean, I was literally, because you couldn't find weights. I mean, I had 8s and 5s, which I still do. And one of these lovely ladies, Miss Victoria, she found me some 35s and grabbed those for me at Walmart one day. So I upped my weight game just a little bit, got some heavy stuff in here. But yeah, I had, and then I got, we found the round weights, what are they, when you stick them on the barbell, those kind.
Oh, plates.
So I had those. Yes, the plates. Yep. I got those. But yeah, I mean, I was, again, determined. I mean, I was like, this is not going to set me back. Like, I'm going to keep going virtual. And I even had a conversation with Amy, like, we're going to keep, this cannot stop. Like, I have got to keep working out. She's like, I got you, girl. We got this.
Yes,
so we got through it.
We got through it. We survived it. Yes. She has overcome all the things this year. And so now she has lost, she flutters around 100 pounds that she has lost.
Yes.
And that's since August. And that's just maintaining. And I mean, it's just amazing. She's amazing.
Well, and I could not have done it without you guys. I've told you so many times, like, again, there were times when I wanted to quit, when I was just, like, I'm whatever, not in the mood. And Amy's like, where are you at? Why didn't you come to class? What you doing? And I'm like, okay, I'm coming.
I'll be right there.
Don't send in the search bus. That's right. I'm on the way. But I needed that. And I knew, when I had this 100-pound mountain to climb, I was not going to do this by myself. There's no way. I mean, I don't know anybody who their story has ever been, I lost 100 pounds all by myself. I don't know. That's not the story I typically read. It's usually, I did it with a support group. I found support, and, that's what it's been for me. I mean, 100%, I needed it. And that's why I've stayed and why I've stuck with it, is mostly the support. Obviously she has all the answers. If you just do what she says, listen to her, eat what she tells you to eat, work out, squat lower when she tells you to squat lower, and pick up a heavier weight when she tells you to. I mean, she'll tell you how to do it, but the support system is there, because we've all been different stages, and, we've all been there. So I just love it.
Speaking of squats, so what's your favorite exercise and why?
Well, it's damn sure not squats, Amy. I hate squats. My favorite exercise has got to be, oh my gosh, I have a love-hate relationship with jump squats. So I've told you so many times how much I hate them. That's number 2. Number 1 is going to be my push-ups. I could not do a single push-up when I started. I couldn't do a single push-up from my knees if you had pushed me up yourself. I could not do it. And what, about 6 months ago? Has it been a year now? You've like put me in a video. You're like, look, she can do a push-up. And I'm like, I can. So, and my arms are my favorite, that's my favorite part too. So I think that's why I love my push-ups, because I know I'm like, yes, it's capping those delts and getting those arms real good.
Yes.
So I love push-ups.
That's my favorite too, is push-ups. So what's your least favorite exercise?
Oh, it's gotta be, and it's probably because I do them so heavy. My lunges, like reverse lunges, I grit my teeth through every single one of those. I mean, especially when I'm in the gym and you see me doing those like 45 pounds, and I like, like literally by the end of 8 on one leg, I think I cannot get through another one of these. So those are, ooh, oh my God, they're so good. I hate them so good.
Those are hardcore. You know what I tell women though,
They
I
are.
say, that's because she's squatting how much, I mean, lunging what she actually used to weigh. So just be
Yes.
prepared.
Yep.
Because people look at you
Yeah.
and they're like, I can't believe she can do that. And I'm like, well, that's actually what she used to weigh. So, I mean, if you have that
Right.
much weight to lose, then that's what you're going to be doing later on. So,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I literally remember when we were doing the heavy class and Lyle put that vest on me that's what like it's a 60-pound vest, and at that time I had lost 60 pounds, and I'm like, how was I carrying around 60 more pounds? Like it felt so heavy, and I'm like, no wonder I was exhausted all the time,
mhm,
because when you're carrying around an extra 100+ pounds on your body and then you shake some of it off and then you pick that up, you're like, how was I doing this? I mean, like, how is this possible? Because it felt so heavy. That was a super eye-opening moment for me.
mhm, yes.
I just
So,
couldn't believe it.
what's the what's a piece of advice you would give to people just starting to exercise that are just starting classes?
um Work on your form. Don't worry so much about how heavy you're lifting at first. And it took a lot of Amy going, "Hey, dummy, put down the weight and like do it right first." And I mean, I seriously took that to heart, and I like, even for me it was hard to say, "Okay, wait a minute. I can't, go all out up front," because I knew how much weight I needed to lose. And I knew that if I wanted to lose that weight, I was going to have to lift heavier weights. But the most important thing I think that I've learned is form. You have to do it right or you're going to hurt yourself. If you hurt yourself, you're not going to be able to continue until you've healed. So, I think really, when we're in class and she tells people, like, okay, put it down and let's work on form, that's hard to hear. And I heard it too. She said the same thing to me. But I am so glad that I focused on form, because now I feel like I can lift heavier because I've built, number one, I feel like I built those muscles correctly. I'm not, didn't get injured, didn't get set back from that. And I think a lot of that was how focused she and Lyle are both on correct form. And when she tells the story about Lyle's going to get out is it the broom now that
Yeah.
yes. When I was at Elite, I clearly remember you doing that to me and like, no, hold up, put this on your back. And it took that to feel what was right and to figure it out. So, that is so important and so huge that you guys really do care and really do take the time to like stop people from doing it incorrectly. That is huge. So to me, that was like exactly what I needed. I'm like, yeah, show me the right way to do it. I don't want to get hurt. I want to do it, the right way so that I can move up and I can lift heavier. So I've always appreciated that about coming to you, is like, you're going to tell me if I'm doing it wrong. Great. Even now, what, I'm almost 2 years in, and yeah, like she'll stop me if I'm not doing it right. And that's great. Like, that's what I want. So I love that.
Yeah, I think we always have room for growth. We can always use the help if we're doing something wrong.
Yes. Yep.
So, speaking of, what are your goals now? What's your goals for this year?
So definitely maintenance. I've been a little bit worried just, because I feel like I may have like 10 or 15 pounds left to lose. I feel great right now, but I would like to lose maybe definitely another 10, maybe another 15. But those are kind of things that I just keep in the back of my mind. I want to just really learn how to do, like, just do this for the rest of my life and be fine with it. And I think, 100% I've learned so much being here. And I feel like that's another part of it too, is you're set up for success. So if you work the program, you do end up like, this is not a diet. This is not a, like a hobby. It's like, this is what I'm going to do, you know? And I think that my mindset is there now, but I just want to continue to like, because there are times when I still use food as a celebration, or like a reward. And I'm wanting to really kind of like work on those things. Like, oh, I had a really great week. I'm going to go like have a giant ice cream. And I'm like, you know, not that there's anything wrong with having ice cream, but like maybe instead of the large, do the smaller one. I mean, you know, making smaller changes like that for me now with my cheat meals, that's kind of what I'm going to focus on from here on out. Because one day I'd kind of like to, you know, not have to track my food anymore. And, you know, I'm still diligently tracking my food every day. You know, I'm really good about that. It keeps me on track, but I think like maybe one day I won't want to do that anymore. And that'll be fine because I've really, really learned, you know, this is what it is. You don't have to write it down, you know, like, so I, you know, making those small changes and just kind of like easing into this is the lifestyle. It's not going to, you know, I'm never going to be able to go back and eat whatever I want and, you know, at any amount that I want ever again. So that's kind of where I'm at now, just like mentally making those changes.
I think that's a great goal. And I think it's wonderful that you said that this is like a lifetime, you know, that you're going to have to live like this. This is a lifestyle
Yep.
change. It's not a diet. This is just how you're going to live the
Exactly.
rest of your life.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Yep. No, it's not a band-aid. It's not a, you know, this is like the full on. You just, if you commit to it and you can commit to just making those changes. I mean, to me, I think the biggest mental hurdle at first was like the whole food is fuel. And it's not like this, oh God, I love it. And I've got to sit down and just like enjoy every single bite. And like, you know, it's going to be wonderful at first. Yeah, it's not. You're making changes and it's going to, you know, there's going to be some growing pains there. But now, I mean, I, I honestly, if I couldn't eat the foods on my list, I don't know what I would eat. Like, I really don't know. Like, I don't, nothing anymore, you know, on a fast food menu is even in the least appealing, you know? It's just kind of like a disappointment now. So I'm like, no, this is, you know, I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm, you know, those lifestyle changes are important. And it's huge once you hit that mindset and go, this is fuel. It has to be this way because this is what my body needs. Because when I get in the gym, I'm gonna have to have that energy and that fuel to burn, you know. Um, I think that's one of the major mental shifts that I made pretty quickly. And then from there, you know, now it's just maintaining. So
I
I'm
don't think
excited to be
you'll,
here. I'm excited to be
I don't think you'll
at
have,
that part of the journey.
I don't think you'll have any problem doing that. Thank you for talking with me and sharing all of your story, Laura.
Well, I super appreciate you asking me to do so. And I am super excited for the people that are coming up now. I'll be cheering you guys on, like seeing some really big gains. And I love it. I love when you girls start picking up those heavy weights. So I'm cheering you on, even though I'm sweating and cussing over there at my side of the mat. I'm cheering you on.
Yay.